This is an image made by Sam Ferris, known on Instagram as Ferris Whiskey. Hello everyone, my name is Agnes and I welcome you to another amazing English live. Normally we do it on Street Macadam, but you switched to Street Me Up today because I have some troubles with the connection. But I'm even more happy to have a photographer from Australia tonight, from Sydney, Sam Ferris, and I'm going at once to call Sam Ferris to our live to invite him, and then I make first one that I showed is this one, amazing image from his book, Staring at the Sun. So we will talk about his approach to light. He has also an amazing book, Rain Go Rain, with black and white images. Okay, I try to invite Sam. Yes!
Hey.
Oh my God! Sam, me too. I'm so happy to have you live on. Really
You can
amazing.
hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah. Okay, super. So you will see the live later on Street Macadam definitely because I will collab. So we are now on two channels. So on Street Me Up and Street Macadam. And yeah, good morning, Sam.
Morning.
With coffee. You have a coffee actually? Yeah. Yes. This is
Yeah.
good night coffee, good morning coffee.
What's in
So
yours? What?
yeah, I have a coffee too, so I can sleep perfectly with coffee, no problems. But it's so amazing to have you on here.
No,
And actually,
thanks for setting it up.
yeah,
It's
can you hear me good?
been, yeah, can hear you really well.
Yeah,
No, thank you for setting it up. It's been a year organising. I think we booked it in last year and have been able to make it work now, which is awesome.
yeah. And last time we couldn't connect, so we figure out to go to this page and then to switch it over. It's all fine, so no problems, no worries. Sam, you are an amazing street photographer. I guess shooting now since 2010. I read.
Yeah,
So it's
around the,
like, yeah,
yeah, I guess I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I just kind of had a camera, and it was before the time of kind of an iPhone or like a camera phone or like a good quality one anyway. And yeah, I moved to a new city and I just bring a camera with me and kind of walk around taking photos. And I guess that became sort of street photography later on when I discovered what that was and what the history of it was and all the kind of amazing work that was out there. I wanted to be part of it once I kind of discovered it.
yeah. I just show some images while you're talking so that people can see your work actually. And you, as I wrote also, you were an art teacher, or you came from the arts anyway.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. In Australia, we have a arts degree, which is sort of a generalist humanities type degree.
Yeah,
So my area of kind of interest and study were things like sociology and philosophy and English literature. So I ended up doing some postgraduate work in English literature, and that's what led me to move to Sydney. That I got a job at a university in Sydney and was able to make the move in around 2008.
yeah,
Um, so I guess, yeah, I had a little bit of an arts background at university, sort of more the reading academic type stuff rather than the visual. But I did grow up in a house with my dad, who is a painter. So
yeah,
um, he always had art books everywhere. He would always be working in his studio, and as a curious young kid, I'd try to talk to him about it and ask him questions. And one of the kind of earlier memories of photography for me is driving around in the streets sort of where we lived, and he'd stop every now and again and take a photo and use them as references in his paintings. So um, his photos actually look a bit like street photos. Like I found a box of old Kodachrome slides at my parents' house a
yeah,
couple of years ago, and I was going through them, and I thought, well, these could even sort of look like if I put them on Instagram, people would call it probably street photography. They look a little bit like a Jesse Marlowe type photo or something like that. Like in Melbourne, if someone had a good eye for kind of composition and light and color and that kind of thing, uh, there's a few photos there that kind of look like street photos. So I guess I had that early
Impact on
sort of
art. Yeah.
language and that kind of thing from a young
Yeah.
age.
Well, this is something which I also wanted to ask you because, yeah, as a small child, you already been, you were surrounded by art, but that works so visually. You also think that it's very important to start as a um, young child looking at images or seeing something or being influenced by the parents who are doing images or giving you something to see, to look at. Did you have famous a painter which was like you say, whoa, this was my favorite painter in approach of light, or
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I really liked impressionist work. I got to go to Paris and the Musée d'Orsay and see all that later on in life. But I think like one of the biggest influences was a painter that is one of my dad's favorite painters and sort of a, I guess, kind of like a mentor to him. He met early on in his career a painter named Jeffrey Smart, who's
yeah,
an Australian painter from Melbourne. Um, he would kind of be at exhibitions and that kind of thing. My dad would go to his shows. They'd write letters to each other. They'd talk about painting and that kind of thing. So I grew up in the house with kind of these books on the shelf and some prints on the wall. And my dad really admired this painter, so he'd talk about the way it was constructed and the use of kind of color and light and leading lines and vectors and color theory and all those things that go into making a painting work. And I think a lot of them translate to photographs. So
yeah,
yeah, Jeffrey Smart. If you guys out there haven't heard of Jeffrey Smart, he's one to look at. His work is really amazing, and again, it has that almost street photography type quality. So it's worth
yeah.
checking out.
Pearl, you can write his name later in the comments so we can see,
Yeah,
look up his name and just check it. Yeah, later when you finish the live, you can write the name so we can check him all out actually. So yeah, also I wanted to ask you, I found like your bus stop images, which
I
I honestly really, I have to say, I really adore, like this one. Um, are you somebody who is walking around and looking for places and staying there for a longer time, or are you somebody who is just walking, shooting, walking, shooting? How is your approach to photography when you go for a shoot?
it's a bit of both. It's a bit
Yeah,
of walking and finding, and then when something feels good, staying there and seeing what happens. So that photo there is a day that happens once a year in Sydney, where they bring out the vintage buses, and it's all the old buses that used to, I guess, run 30, 40, 50 years ago around Sydney, the nice old double decker buses. And you can even see on the guy's bag, if you zoom into that one really closely, it's got the kind of the name of the day on the bag, like it's a rail fair or something like that.
yeah,
Um, that day I was with my family, and kind of my partner was not feeling super good, so I took the kids for the afternoon and we kind of wandered around and found this bus or rail day, which was like a really cool kind of visual because it stands out against all the kind of modern cityscapes, seeing these old buses and the colors of them. And there was lots of people dressed up as well for the day. Like if you, that's Central Station in Sydney, so if you went into the station, on the platforms as well, they'd have an old train, a steam
yeah,
train, and catch the train. And lots of the people who had kind of invested in this were train enthusiasts or kind of, I guess, historical enthusiasts, that kind of thing, had dressed up in kind of 1950s, 40s style attire for the trip. So I've seen something similar, like in Instagram stories and that kind of thing from Manhattan, where there's an old train that comes at Christmas time, and it's like a
yeah,
photographer's dream.
yeah,
It's like all these people don't exist anymore, and people dress so amazing. Back then, all the men wear hats, and kind of hats are very
Yeah,
photogenic, I guess.
kind of retro style and something like that. I honestly have to show some images because it's like Australia. I guess for a lot of people of us, it's not that easy probably to go there
No, no,
because it's
that's right.
far away. Yeah, yeah, I know, but it's amazing. And I just want to show you black and white work you did in Sydney because I also think it's incredible because as I realized you switch between color and black and white anyway. So do you have a favorite like black and white or color, or when do you decide I put it in black and white or color, or do you shoot on black and white film actually already?
A bit of
Yeah.
everything. So my work and it, like if you did a pie chart of it, I'd say 80% of it would be color and color, street photography, sort of candid strangers, public, all those sorts of things. The few chances I've had to shoot black and white over the years. So like I used to shoot family photographs in black and white because I wanted to do that differently. So I got a film camera and shot all the family photos in black and white. So I've got a series of work on my family, kids being born and growing up and that kind of thing, all shot in black and white. So that's one set that's all film. And then another time I had a chance to borrow one of the Leica monochrome cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that for a number of weeks and just really shot it as much as I could. And the work you're showing now is from that series. So I went like at the time of year is the winter time, beautiful light, winter light. The sun's really low. That's down at the Opera House, Circular Quay, sort of the most famous landmark
Yeah,
or kind of
yeah,
city. So it's like if you visit, it's a must go kind of place because it's really spectacular and really beautiful. And yeah, those images that you see there are from that time when I had that monochrome camera and kind of had a chance to do something different with it and see in a different way. And it was really interesting. Like it took me a while to get used to seeing in black and white and knowing what would work as an image in
yeah,
black and white rather than a color image.
yeah,
Sometimes the color images could be let down by something bright and distracting in the wrong spot, but the black and white, you're really only working with the two contrasting shades, so you can get away with a little bit more there, and it's more about the emotion and kind of personalities and moment, rather than the distractions of the light and the color and the beauty of it. So I think that's the battle with color photography in street photography a lot of the time, especially the stuff that I do, which is dependent on the light a lot of the time, is that the light will be the focus of the photo rather than the moment, emotion, or the thing that you're capturing. And the moment and the thing and the emotion has to be there, and the light is kind of like the thing that exaggerates it or discloses it. Um, so if I post a photo or if I show a friend who's a really good friend who's honest with me and critiques photos, and he says, "Oh, yeah, it's nice light," that's okay. Like that's like,
yeah.
but it's not what I'm looking
That's right. Yeah,
for. A photo
I
is
wanted to talk to you.
light. I'm looking for the light to do something to the image and exaggerate and amplify and disclose it. So yeah, with black and white, it's something different. That kind of disclosing and amplifying is different because I think with only the two contrasting shades there, it comes through a little bit easier. The distraction of the color and the light isn't as great. So that photo at the top there, it's a group of I think they were from South Africa or New Zealand. They were rugby boys,
Yeah,
and they're on tour. And one of the things you do as an amateur rugby team on tour is you go visit the Opera House, and they had a rugby ball with them, and they were throwing it around. And of course, I got in there amongst them and kind of shot the ball midair.
yeah.
Um, I like anything.
An
I
amazing
like
trip
anything.
with lots of tourists anyway. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
everybody will go there when you visit Sydney. Actually, I have a question. Ines asked about the book Rain Go Rain. We will talk about this, but actually, as a photographer, because you talked about color and black and white, do you feel also as a person totally different when you make the approach or your images in black and white? Are you in a different mood then, or something like that? This is also interesting to know, probably, when you go out and shooting like in color. I show the Joker is, this is
Oh, yeah,
incredible.
yeah. Not so much in the moment. I think I go with instinct and kind of gut reaction a lot of the time. So if it feels like it could be a photo, I'll get in there and try and take it and just go with the feeling that the scene could be good or the subject could be good or that I have a reaction to it. And it doesn't matter whether it's black and white or color, I'll still try and obey that instinct or reaction and go and do it. Yeah, I think afterwards in the editing process, it's
Yeah.
kind of looking for different in the color and the black and white. And sometimes, yeah, the color can make or break a photo, and sometimes in black and white, someone in a white shirt or a white car going past can make or break a photo. And I think yeah, I think my advice would be if you're switching between the two or kind of experimenting with both is just continue to kind of follow your instincts for photos and kind of follow your gut reaction and get in there and take the photo and don't think, oh, this is not going to look good in color or this is, I've only got black and white film in my camera. Get in there and do it, because it's the editing process where you can sort that out later. And I mean, you're
And
showing these photos which
yeah.
my good ones. I haven't shown you the 100,000 failures of the same the same
Yeah.
scenes. Yeah.
Wait, I got the birds in black and white, and I got them in color.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
so that you can see probably they work both actually, and it's amazing. I honestly, when I looked for your work, I have to say, the light in Sydney in Australia is incredible.
Mm.
So I think I don't know. You are not shooting with flash, as I realized.
The black and white photo there, the bird one that you just showed, that's with flash.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll use flash, like I use flash for a lot of the rain photos. That was a bit of a change to do something with flash there, but yeah, two very similar scenes there. The top one is on an overcast day, not very nice weather, someone feeding the birds, and it was during the kind of I guess the time after lockdown, and
Yeah.
we had a very long lockdown in Australia. And around near Circular Quay, where this is taken, these gulls are notorious for kind of roaming around, stealing food, attacking people. We even have like a little um, group of people employed by the City of Sydney Opera House or whatever, who are called the Seagull Patrol, and they have a trained with them. The dog wears a little vest, and the dog goes around barking at seagulls and scaring them away. But the top photo, there wasn't much food around because the tourists weren't there.
We're in there, yeah.
The top photo, a lady had chips and was like throwing them to seagulls, and all of a sudden, hundreds of them were coming, and they were really ravenous and screeching, and it was like a feeding frenzy. So the top one, like overcast weather with a big flash to kind of exaggerate it, and you can, even if you zoom into that photo, you can see like little bits of food flying through the air, like they're kind of nipping at each other and everything. So it's a very different mood and emotion for that top one. That I guess the aesthetic of the photo fit the scene or the way that I was feeling it. And the second photo in color is the same thing. It's a tourist kind of feeding seagulls, but it feels like a lot more kind of chill and relaxing. Like, I guess like the seagulls aren't super interested. They're kind of floating around, doing their thing, landing. The tourists are taking some photos of the seagulls. And that one I had a bit more time to kind of sit there and wait and set up, and I took a whole bunch of photos, and that's just with the nice natural, again, wind light kind of coming through. So
Yeah.
yeah, two very different
It's
emotions
that,
coming through, I guess, in the way
yeah, yeah.
they're shot
But
and
it's amazing with the opera, because the birds looks like, I see the opera in the background, and first of all, I
yeah,
thought also there's a bird. So you also combine architectural
yeah,
things into your images.
yeah. I mean, the opera house is so great to photograph. It's so iconic and
Yeah.
photogenic, and it's a weird shape. Like it's recognizable. So yeah, I guess I try to feature it in photos, and especially when I'm shooting that area, it's a landmark that kind of gives away where the photo's taken, and It's something that can be used to kind of create layers or levels and contrast in a photo. So yeah, it's something that I'll use and go back to because it's just such an interesting building or piece of
Building.
architecture.
I wanted to show one of the light images
Oh yeah,
also, and yeah, I wanted to because I love it honestly. It's so naturally, and what I love is that that the spots of the camera of the light, which happens naturally, that you keep them, because I also sometimes, or some photographers have this, and we are probably sometimes not secure, is it a good image or not? And honestly, I wanted to show that it worked amazingly just to
yeah.
leave them, to keep them in an image.
This was maybe early on when I was shooting the rain photos.
Yeah,
And yeah, I didn't cover up the camera. It's a weatherproof camera. So the lens would often get, or the filter on the lens would get little drops of rain on there, and you get that kind of lens flare or effect on there. So yeah, I kept it because I thought, oh, it's part of the image. And later on, when I really got into the rain shots and really shot on the really heavy days, you can see in those photos, in the black and white ones, that the distortions and little kind of droplets on the lens and the flare on the lens adds a bit to the photo. So yeah, it was a nice discovery to make that these little things can come through and kind of be interesting, and you don't have to have the perfect kind of clean image
of
to
the image. Yeah,
something.
yeah. This is really nice to see because really it's very very, yeah, it's special. There's some magic in it with the spots. So
Yeah,
rain or
we get
rain. This
sun we
actually, yeah, yeah,
sun
it's
showers.
yeah,
Lots of people probably have seen Trent Park's famous image, which is actually called Summer Rain.
yeah,
Um, and that one is on one of the covers of his book Dream Life. So there's two covers of that book, and there's one with this image Summer Rain. So we get these amazing sun showers in Sydney. So initially I started photographing them because I thought they were amazing and beautiful. And the first half of the Rain Go book depicts the sun showers and kind of the pleasant kind of rain. And then the second half of the book is when it became really catastrophic and really intense, and we'd had
intense.
rain
It's
for
catastrophic.
and
That
things
is,
were
this is
flooding,
catastrophic.
and there was a big dam that burst, and I was like on the way home from school one day, like I was stuck, couldn't get home from school. So the second half of the book is the more kind of chaos and the catastrophe of rain, sort of the flash photos like that one
Yeah.
there, where everything's blown, exaggerated, versus the first half of the book, which is kind of the benevolent rain, the benevolent summer storm that provides relief after a really hot day. Um, yeah, yeah,
I go through some images actually just to show, and they're in black and white. You kept them in black
yeah,
and white. Yeah. Oh, you got it here. Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Super. Can you show us how it looks like inside? So it would be
Yeah.
amazing to see it.
Um,
Yeah.
starts off with kind of the end papers, which
Yeah.
were a lot of work. So these ones are newspaper articles I collected from all the coverage of the storms.
Yeah.
So the back behind this book, first of all, is that Australia is known for beautiful weather, hot summers, um, but we had a La Nina weather event which brought rain constantly for about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So it was the most extreme kind of rain that I've ever seen. It was something like what you'd see is a monsoon kind of season, like all the doors in our house warped and the wood and wouldn't shut. Like it was amazing. But
Which time of
w-
the year is it in Australia? Is it
um, yeah, it wasn't any kind of predictable time. It
yeah,
kind of just happened end of our summer. So it was kind of like a November to March to April kind of stretch. But around that March period where we're meant to kind of get the nice weather transitioning into autumn and everything, we had this crazy catastrophic rain and we had floods and all sorts of things happening. And yeah, this was the book that sort of came out of it, because the way I experienced it was pretty tame compared to some people. Some people like there's a town called Lismore in Australia, and they had catastrophic floods and people lost their homes and everything. There was the photojournalists were doing their work and doing great work, kind of documenting it and covering it. And that's not me. Like I'm not a photojournalist, and so I guess I covered it in my own way, which was kind of through my everyday life and everyday experience of this. So the book starts out with the end papers from all the newspaper coverage, and the media really sensationalized the storms. So we had headlines sort of mega storm mayhem, once in 100 years weather event, storm of the century, all this sort of stuff. So I've just collected it and compiled it into the end papers. There's some at the back as well. So it starts off with that, and then it's kind of like we've got this kind of double page spread with the title and sort of the Sydney landscape there, and the harbour bridge with the storm looming. And then it kind of goes into the first image, kind of like the storm coming, where I live in Newtown. So yeah, that's that opening, and then it goes into kind of these ones taken on the harbour bridge again, crossing harbour bridge, and these ones are like to convey that feel like stuck inside with rain. So we've just come out of lockdown, and everyone's happy to be free and kind of getting their stuff back and everything. And all of a sudden we're all stuck inside with this kind of awful rain. So these ones are both taken interior locations. So this is inside on a bus on the harbour bridge, and that's inside the bus again on my way to work. And then this one's inside a restaurant. So you've got a couple
from outside.
dinner. They're finally allowed to be in a restaurant having dinner, and the restaurant's all fogged up and kind of horrible and humid.
Yeah.
And then we kind of gradually go outside, people venturing outside into the rain. So this was a surprise storm, and this lady was dressed in bubble wrap to protect herself. And the couple are very happy. They're outside the Apple store in Sydney. They've got their ponchos on.
Yeah.
So people kind of the rain, and then it kind of goes into the full summer storms.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't care. Like I'm soaking wet. Like I'll just.
This guy is super. I got him here too.
So the rain starts off quite nice, like quite gentle, and you get the sparkling kind of light, and like because it's all backlit, it's the raindrops are illuminated that way. It looks really pretty. It's a bit like that summer rain image from Trent Park. So that's the one that inspires these type of images.
Yeah. Did you actually did you flash them, the images?
No,
you
these are all natural light. So these first images in the book are all natural light. So I knew from that Trent Park image, I knew how to kind of expose for the light, because it's his shot is shot into the light, and I know the spot where it's taken on Mark. So I knew that if I ever see this type of event, to shoot into the light rather than with the light, because that's the way to get the raindrops lit up. So the book starts with all these nice kind of summer storms bringing relief, and then kind of it transitions and gets worse and worse, and they're more and more chaotic and kind of crowded. People struggling past each other with all these umbrellas.
Yeah.
And it goes on, gets a bit more surreal, and then eventually it becomes like this is kind of the turning point where this image is, and there's another one with a lightning strike where it starts to get more tense and chaotic, and
the text on the other side. Did you write? Did you write? Yeah, this is a fun. Whoa! Super.
So that one, middle of the book.
Yeah, I saw some. Sorry, I don't know. I have a delay. I think did you write a poem or something on the side of the images? I saw. Yeah.
These are like extracts from my own kind of writing at the time. So almost just while I'm photographing something, and if I know it's sort of like this project, I keep notes, and I keep it almost like a diary, I guess, like a loose kind of notes of what's happening. So this is my writing from the time. So I scanned this in. It's kind of unedited and pretty bad, but it's part of the story of the book, I guess.
The book,
There's little bits of text throughout, like sort of in my own handwriting, that kind of punctuate the book.
Yeah.
So yeah, lightning strikes the middle of the book, and then it starts to go kind of into the more chaotic kind of
Poetry,
nighttime
yeah.
images, where you have that one and that one, and that they're shot during the evening or nighttime. So they're shot with the big flash. So I had a flash that I put on the camera, and I played around with the settings until I found a way to kind of exaggerate the rain and everything, and convey, I guess, the feeling of it with what it looked like, because it felt crazy. It felt like this intense kind of terrible rain that would never
Yeah,
stop, and I find a way to show that in the images. So the flash was the way of doing that. So it moves into the flash shots at the kind of end of the book, and it gets more and more kind of chaotic and intense sort of as it goes on.
super. Also, yeah, I have a very, yeah, this one too. It's like,
Running from the rain.
yeah,
I'm just trying
super.
to.
The book, yeah, the book, Sam, is it available? Where can we get the book,
Yeah.
actually?
I self-published, so
Yeah,
that was a journey on its own. It took about 2 years to get it right and get it the way I wanted. And my really good friend, his name's Mike Keevers. He's a Sydney photographer as
yeah.
well. Uh, he's a great designer. He helped me with the design and the layout of it. So we'd kind of sit in the pub and have a beer and talk about the book.
Talk
And I'd
about the
show him
book.
the kind of work in progress and bring the laptop. And he helped me a few times with the layout of it. So 2 years, and then I printed 300 of them,
Yeah,
because I worked out roughly the amount that I think I could sell without them sitting around the house. So I've got about 30 left. So if anyone wants one, now's the time.
so there is still, yeah. It's an
um,
incredible book, really. It's amazing just to look through, and it's also with your poems, I have to say, really, really nice poetry. And if you have 30, feel free to order.
yeah. So I've
Australia.
got I've we're in summer holidays still
Yeah,
in Australia. So I'm on a bit of a mission to clean the house at the moment, and get rid of these books. So I've shipped a whole bunch of them this school holidays. So thank you to everyone who's bought one and supported. But I've probably got one box of them left, about 30 of them left. So if anyone's keen to get it, now's the time. I can ship it straight away.
yeah.
There's my.
It's really, it's amazing, and it's an amazing project. And I know how long it takes just to come to the idea, to do something, to combine it, to talk, and to work on it. And it's always done with so much love, and it's really something special. Your images are, Sam, they are outstanding, I have to say. If we talk about modern street photographers of our times, and if I should name one, I definitely will say you are one which is influencing a lot, and you are modern. You are your style is amazing, not just in color but also with black and white, and really, really cool. Because we always, when you say, oh, who do you like, we always talk about the former photographers like Vivian Mayer and things like that, which are incredible. But to name like modern ones, like street photographers of our times,
Yeah.
I honestly have to say to name you.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's all part of that legacy of kind of progression and everything. Like I look at like Trent Park and Narelle Audio and Alex Webb and
Yeah,
those guys, and draw inspiration from that. So it's very humbling and nice to hear that other people like my work and
yeah.
maybe inspired. Um, yeah, thanks so much. And if anyone kind of wants to chat about photography or anything, like I think the amazing thing about social media is everyone's so accessible these days. So yeah, certainly
Yeah,
hit me up if you have any questions about making a book or anything like that. I can tell you what to do and what not to do, because I've
to
made
do
all
this
the.
also, yeah. And I have, if you have the staring at the sun, something
Mm,
completely new also, because now we had the book in black and white with the rain, and this is
yeah,
something really amazing with the light. And yeah, and I wanted also to show this to our viewers, just to, yeah, just to show a completely different Sam Ferris style, actually in color. And yeah, this book is amazing. So probably you can show the book too.
Yeah, this one, yeah, not so much a book. This one's more like an exhibition catalog, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see kind of the size difference there, and this one is produced, I guess, a lot more cheaply, and this one was for an exhibition I did in New York. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was very in New York City at the end of last year, and my friend George Garcia, he runs the New York Street Photography Collective, and he's got a gallery there and a photo lab, and he and his partner Bora run that, and they're just the best people. And I've known George for years, and we've been talking about like kind of going over and visiting, and we were able to make it work with doing this exhibition. So I took 10 years worth of work from Sydney
Yeah.
and sent it across to George and Bora, and Bora and George helped edit it and pick the photos that they thought would be good for the wall. And we collaborated on this show and printed this show and exhibited it in New York City, which was like the thrill of my lifetime. Like
Yeah.
it was just so amazing to be in that place, which has such a history and connection with what we do, and to meet a lot of the community, like a lot of people that like I've known online for years, and then meet them in real life. Like I think on the opening night, I was so overwhelmed because I was like meeting all these people that
Yeah.
that I'd known for
Yeah, how was
years.
it?
And
How was
like,
it for you? This is also interesting because we know each other
yeah, yeah,
all each other
like
online, and then
Australia. So,
you meet them live, and it's like whoa, it's like a big family. It's something really,
yeah,
really
like
heartwarming, I have to
yeah,
say.
like you have something in common, and you yeah, like I mean, Australia's, like you said at the start, it's so hard to visit because it's so far away. It's very isolated, and it's very hard to feel connected to the global community. So one thing I did was start this group Aussie Street with a few friends who are sort of part of the photo community
Yeah,
here, who we knew each other, but we wanted to kind of connect with the rest of the world and kind of
yeah,
bring Australian street photography to the world and bring the world to Australia as well. So we started this festival, and we had guests like Matt Stewart
yeah,
come and give a workshop. It was just so inspiring and good for the community. Um, Jesse Marlowe gave us a lot of help as well.
yeah,
He's really awesome. Um, so we're really lucky, like, to start this group, but we also felt that distance really acutely, that we're so far away and it's hard to get visitors to come and that sort of thing. So for me, going to New York, I was meeting all these people that I'd known for maybe 10 years or more, for the first time in real
yeah.
life, like
I have one
Michelle,
image. New York. Yeah.
Michelle, who's a really awesome photographer. I met her for the first time. I've known her from Flickr for like more than 10 years. Brad Jones, who does amazing stuff with light
Yeah,
in New York.
Brad Jones. Yeah, I had a life with Brad, and I met Brad in New York too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Ruben Radding and all these cool guys like came to my exhibition and saw my work. I was really humbled that like people showed up for it. And yeah, Bora and George have this amazing space in New York, and we put the show on the wall. So I made this catalog as like the exhibition catalog that people could get and take away from the show to kind of keep the
yeah.
work. So yeah, that's the
This
front cover image. And
cover, yeah. I have
yeah,
honestly, if people, if the viewers, to see this exhibition, you can go in your hub on the reels because I saw it in the
yeah,
reel hub, and this is why I saw this image on the wall
yeah,
during watching the reel. So yeah, in the reel you can see you're in New York at the yeah
yeah. So they made a really nice video of it. And like I made a book a few years ago, the first book I did, which was called Invisible Light.
yeah
And this work is the same body of work. It's the same color Sydney body of work, and that book is out of print and it's hard to find now. But this body of work is quite similar. So here's 2014 to
yeah
2024. Um, I wrote a bit of a kind of text or personal essay at the start,
Yeah.
and then it kind of goes into the series, and it's all Sydney kind of images. And these ones were early ones, like around maybe 2014,
Yeah.
2015, and then it's got recent stuff in there as well from 2024. So it's 10 years, 30 images.
Yeah.
That, that one's like a more recent one.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw it on your Instagram account. This one. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the book is like the catalogue of the exhibition. So it's a nice thing that people could have and take away and have a record of that exhibition and that time. And I had some left after I produced some for the exhibition, so I sold a bunch of these as well when I got back to Sydney, because I again was doing it up and wanted to cut
Yeah.
down on the thing taking up. So it's like I guess you call
It's
it
like
a
a zine. It's like a zine. Yeah. Ines asking because of the zine. Do you think it's much more easier to do a zine or a book, or is it completely like different? Probably a zine is much more. Yeah. Did you have
yeah.
experiences with zine and book?
I think whatever you do, if you
Yeah.
really love, put effort into it, it's going to be hard, because once you put it out there, you can't take it back. So there's that risk of kind of it not being what you want. So you're going to put everything into it and make it work really hard to be wonderful, and hopefully that you're proud of and you can share with your friends or your people in the community or whoever is interested in it. But I guess zines for me are a more loose kind of thing, because the tradition of the zine and kind of where it started, and kind of its history is something that was cheaply produced, distributed all amongst people of the same subculture or people in a subculture, like say punk rock or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a way of sharing that culture and kind of building in a casual kind of way that anyone could contribute to. It was really democratic and everything. So a zine, me, feels looser. Like it's got a bit more freedom. It doesn't have maybe as many rules as a formal photo book, if you want to kind
Probably.
of follow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, zines zines are a great way to do it, because they're a lot easier to kind of find someone who can print it for you, and the cost of printing is a lot less. So I think zines are a great way to kind of get your foot in the door with doing layouts and designs and learning how to do it, and
Or if you
learning.
travel just with hand luggage, probably I was also when you travel somewhere for shooting and far away, and you have because the flight is so expensive, zine always fits somewhere, so you can. So it's
Yeah,
not a bad idea with a zine to come out and so people can take your images home
yeah.
when we see you. Did you think one question? New York, shooting in New York. How was it for you?
I
Because I'm sure you went shooting
yeah.
in New
No,
York too.
it's amazing. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
everything you think.
yeah,
like like we kind of geek out a bit on it in Australia. Like we like a group of friends who kind of are into street photography. We're always watching the New York guys, what they're doing, and kind of watching their Instagram stories and videos and YouTube channels and everything, and kind of like, wow, look at this. Like, I wonder if it's really like that. I wonder if it's really that extreme or that intense
yeah.
or chaotic or whatever it is. And then I was there and I was like,
Oh
it really
my
is.
God, yes,
Everything is happening everywhere all the time,
yeah,
and there's so many different things that you can find and come across. You can just walk all day and find these different. I remember there was one weekend, I think it was the Saturday before Halloween, and there was a dog Halloween costume competition,
yeah,
which people were going to. There was like a Timothy Chalamet lookalike competition,
yeah.
which Timothy like actually showed up to himself. Um, there was like a festival and like this crazy bike event on as well, where people like made these homemade bikes and tried to like kill each other basically on these bikes. Like it was all happening at the same time. And you can't see it all and you can't photograph it all, but it's just the most amazing setting for
Yeah.
photos. And like I watch a lot of those accounts like Subway Creatures and New York Nico and those ones as well. Like the guys who do video kind of stuff, or like user-generated content where people send stuff in and post whatever, and you think, are those characters real, or are they kind of like has that person gone out and found them and kind of
Yeah, put that out. It's like a move. You don't understand. First of all, I didn't understand this all. I was like, what's going on? Hell, yeah. So you have really to stay some hours just on the street from the morning to the night. Probably then you get a little bit of a clue what the city means. And
yeah,
also light, it's tricky with the light because of the skyscrapers. So it changed. You are also a light photographer, so it was like, okay,
yeah,
where is it? Where can you go? Then the reflections. Every time something happens there, so it's incredible. It's
yeah. I was really lucky when I was there with the weather. Like we had a good stretch of like really sunny days, and
yeah,
like I guess like I did chase the light a little bit because it was what I knew. It was my comfort zone.
yeah.
But then once I got out of that, I was like, well, you can make a photo anywhere here. There's always something interesting happening. And whether I'm in good light or I'm in shadow or reflected light or I'm in the subway or wherever it is, there's something
Something
going on that's worth.
going on. Yes,
I
this
think
is
it's an amazing city, but it's very clean and very kind of I don't know, a lot of sameness everywhere in especially the city. Like I think if you went to maybe Western Sydney or outside of the city, it'd be a lot more interesting and a lot more diverse. But one of the reasons why, like we all, when we photograph Sydney, look for the light, and this kind of cliche of like looking for the amazing light, is because it almost needs that to make it dramatic or emotional or to accentuate what is there. Um, Whereas, like, I guess in New York, like everything's there all the time, and you stumble across it, and when you do, you go, oh wow, look at that, and take a photo. And that's how you see those guys like Daniel Arnold or whoever. Like you wonder like how they got those that amazing body of work, but they really just put in the effort to be there,
yeah,
be on the
yeah.
street and work it really hard, and take as much time and make as many photos as they could. And eventually in a setting like that, you'll find something. And
It's
yeah, it's like the most
it's
incredible photograph, but
crazy.
it's also, I don't know where to begin with my work from there, because where does it fit in? Like it's just my kind of couple of months there versus all these amazing bodies of work that have been shot there over many years. So I don't know if I'm ready to know any of it, but yeah, I'll keep on editing and see if there's anything good there.
And editing and showing. Yeah, it takes. Are you also somebody? I just want to ask. When you go somewhere and make images, do you leave them also sometimes? Like I call it sleeping. To wait. Some you look through. Yeah, you know. Some you have in your head. Okay, they will work. But then sometimes the work is sleeping, and weeks or months later you come back to the work. Is it? Does something happens to you too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Just with time constraints, really. Like I don't have the time to sit there and kind of edit. I like
Yeah.
have the full time job, have family life, all that sort of stuff. And at the end of the day, I'd rather be relentlessly shooting and making images in the time that I have, rather than going through the archive and pulling things out and
Yeah.
kind of categorizing things on Lightroom, which I mean, you have to do, but um, yeah, I think like with the time I've got, I'm always trying to use it in the most productive way, which is making work. Um, Porting out of the work hopefully will come later, but yeah, the New York stuff. I think I've got 25,000 photos to go through, and I haven't really looked at those. Like I looked at a couple of them, so the only ones I've really looked at are from one day where I was with a young guy who filmed a video
Yeah.
of around New York. It's called Behind the Sensor on YouTube.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
cool.
it's on YouTube. Yeah, behind the sensor. So I
Yeah,
have. Yeah,
cool
you can
young
watch.
guy.
Actually, yeah, this is the. Yeah, it's on your. Yeah, you can go and watch it, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
So if somebody goes on your account, you can watch the behind the sensor, and it's cool because I saw you working on the street, and I saw how you work, and this is also really helpful because we are talking, showing images, but also I like those videos just to see how do you really do the work outside, and also with film, to put the film in, or how close you go, how do you hold the camera. There are so many strange ways people are shooting
Mm.
with the camera, so it's really cool to see. It's a cool video, I have to say. So
Yeah, no, it was really nicely done, and so that day that I shot with the videographer, like
yeah,
that day I went through the images, so I shot maybe 1,000 images like that. So
yeah.
they're the only images I looked at from New York. The rest is kind of sitting and sleeping, as you say, and
Sleeping,
kind of
sleeping. I always say, okay,
like
they are sleeping.
yeah, yeah,
Like you told, which I really like the sentence, because you said it's also on your feed. Um, are you making photos or thinking about them like all the time? And in my sleep, I'm dreaming of them.
yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, it's a bit, ego, isn't it? But it's like that's the obsession. Like it's literally
yeah,
life where it is all consuming, and I don't know whether it's a good thing, and I don't know whether it's sustainable, but that's that's the way it is. Like I literally think about photos all day, and I fall asleep and I dream about photos, and I dream about missing photos or my camera not working, or I mean, there's something probably Freudian in that. Who knows? But um,
yeah,
like it's that point. The level of obsession is so great that that it consumes everything else, and I think I'm trying to maybe balance it a bit more these days. Like when I wrote those lines, that was maybe a few years ago, where it was a bit more intense. But now that I'm kind of, I guess, slowing, not slowing down, but like I've got the family and have to look after the kids and that kind of thing.
yeah,
I have to kind of spend my time a bit more wisely.
yeah,
So I have like this, I guess the motto now would be, instead of like being completely obsessed, it would be like waste no time. Like if I waste time, it's the worst thing, because you
yeah,
can't get it back. If I have time, I'm doing something productive with it towards photography. I'm looking at work, I'm editing, I'm taking photos, I'm categorizing something, I'm cleaning up my studio or whatever. Like
yeah.
it's got to be productive, otherwise there's no point.
We have a question from Jose. I understand you perfectly, because yeah, this is I think a little bit upset. We all are. When you're doing art, it doesn't matter which. A little bit obsession is it's the part of it, actually, because yeah, everything is running, your thoughts running around this, and to go out of the street 12 hours or something, shoot, this is, everybody says, are you crazy? I said, yes, I am. But I love it, so I'm sorry.
No one understands
Yes.
it until they're part of it.
Yeah. We have a question from Jose. Is it safe to shoot in Australian street? Here in Brazil, it is not. So Jose is from
Yeah.
Brazil.
um I mean, Australia is very safe,
Yeah,
luckily. We're
yeah,
very lucky to live in Australia. It's Disneyland compared to a lot of parts of the
yeah,
world with street. You're not really going to be confronted with what you're doing. There's no thought about kind of personal safety, or am I in danger? Am I going to get mugged, or am I going to get myself in a bad situation? It can happen depending on where you are and how you approach things. Like I think it's all about the kind of
yeah,
awareness you have around
yeah,
where you're going into. Do you know where you're going? Do you know the route? Do you know how to get out of there? And I think there are certain parts of Australia which can be dicey to shoot in.
yeah,
But certainly, like on the streets of Melbourne or Sydney or one of the big cities in the central business district, you're not really going to be unsafe at any time. Like especially somewhere like the Opera House, or like that's Market Street, like kind of one of the main
yeah,
thoroughfares where the nice shops are and everything. Like it's very safe, very clean kind of area. Um, I haven't been to Brazil myself, but there's a lot of great street photographers from Brazil. So
yeah.
um, like I know Gustavo, who's part of Burn My Eye,
Minas, yeah.
one who's been like really inspirational to me over the years. Like I've known him since the days of Flickr and that kind of thing. So Gustavo makes great work in Brazil. So yeah, I've never been to Brazil myself. I'd love to go one day, but I understand that some parts maybe are safer than others. But I still see Gustavo's work, and I look at, well, someone's making amazing work over there. So
I think it's great to ask, because we are so connected worldwide, actually, to ask a photographer who's already there and to say, okay, I'm coming probably for some days. So he's going to tell you the area or even come with you, actually.
I
Uh,
think
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is the good.
he
This
teaches
is
online. So if you wanted to go shoot Brazil, or if I was going there, I'd hit him up and say, hey,
say, hey,
where
yeah,
should I go?
yeah, Gustavo is amazing. And actually, this is the good about Instagram. I also realized it doesn't matter where you go. You always find somebody you can ask, how is it? Where can I stay? Where can I go? So
Mm,
I think this was really amazing with the social media, especially in the Corona times with the lockup. I think we got the chance to know each other better, or to use this medium as something really we can connect with each other. My wonderful Sam, we have 1 minute, but I honestly, I know probably you can't see this image anymore, but I honestly wanted to ask you, because this is one of your first images I
oh,
found on your
oh, yeah,
feed. Superhero hair.
that was a
But yeah, but I need to ask about the Joker. I need,
oh,
because I dream of this image in my dreams. So
that was another time I was in New York. So that was 2018. So
yeah,
an earlier time in New York, before lockdowns and everything, and I went over there again to meet my friend George. We did a workshop together. We taught a workshop,
yeah,
and it was around the time of New York Comic Con. So the Comic Con event that's at Javits Center there,
yeah.
it's massive. It's unbelievable. Like the amount of people who dress up and put so much effort in their costumes and everything. And I just happened to be there at the right time when the sun was setting, and the part of town where that image is taken, there's no big buildings, or there wasn't any big buildings at the time, and the sun came in really low. It was a lot like Sydney, and people were just crossing this road in their costumes. So I just stood there like a happy person, kind of shooting fish in a barrel. And this guy was, I guess, dressed up as like a Heath Ledger type Joker, or
He's like
um,
Joker, yeah.
maybe that style of Joker. And he just kind of walked in the right spot, and I kind of got in front of him and took a photo. And he kind of didn't mind, but he also kind of was aware of what I was doing, and there's that little bit of eye contact or a little bit of acknowledgement there, which maybe holds the attention a little bit there. Like it's more than kind of a, I don't know, more than just sort of passing by. He's kind of giving that half smile, and there's that little eye contact there. So yeah, it's probably one of the ones that I remember from that first New York trip that I was happy with to get. There's that one and the other Spider-Man one, which you saw, which are taken on the same day.
One of the first images
Again,
I found on,
just
yeah.
the Empire in the background, and people in costumes going past. Like you couldn't beat it. Like it was one of those great photo experiences, just being there and having that light and having people walking past, like they're parading around in these costumes, and they're kind of happy because, like, I mean, you're acknowledging them with your camera that they look amazing in their costumes and everything, and
Yeah.
a lot of people would
This is
stop and
something weird you find in the world, and it's the word. It's yeah. It's very cinematic, and it's yeah, also cool.
yeah, so that was
Oh
a
my
nice
God.
time.
My wonderful Sam. I'm honestly, if you ever go to New York, please write. So probably we can meet there. I'm dreaming of going to Australia one day.
Yeah, if you're ever
Probably
here,
to work out, because there's also like a lot of photographers like Lou Gilbert. I know some photographers out.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah. So,
thing, because there's a really good strong collective or group of
yeah,
female in Australia, and it's something that a few of those photographers have been building and working on for a long
yeah,
time. There's a collective called Unexposed. They do really good
yeah.
things. And I think Australia's got one of the best kind of communities of female photographers, and it's something that Australia should be proud of in that way, that we've got a really good kind of inclusive, I guess, diverse body of work that's showing Australia in different parts of Australia. And yeah, certainly that's what we strive to do with the Aussie Street Festival as well when we organise that. My friend Rachel's part of that one, and she's an awesome photographer, and I guess when we started that group, we had equal kind of representation of male and
Yeah.
female photographers. It was a big part of it. So the Australian community is really cool that way, and really inclusive of all photographers, but especially a really strong group of female photographers there as well. So yeah, if yourself or anyone else
I love it. Or we see
visits,
us
certainly
next
hit us.
time we talk about Berlin. I found some images.
Yeah,
I will ask you next time about your how you felt in Germany. So we see us definitely, my wonderful Sam. And
yeah.
really, thank you so much. Enjoy the day. I will watch the Australian Open because I do. I love tennis. So tomorrow is the final with
Yeah.
Zverev, and yeah. So enjoy, and sending a lot of greetings to Australia, and just the best for you. And we see us one day for sure, I hope.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank
so
you
much
for your
for
work
inviting
and your inspiration. Yeah.
me. Pleasure. Thanks so much for inviting me and hosting, and the group you're part of, and everything you guys do. It's really good for the community and really nice to see these videos. Um, like I started watching them because
Yeah.
you asked me, and I realized there's an amazing resource there for photographers. So if you are watching this or starting out in street photography and you're wondering sort of what to do and how to kind of go about it, there's resources on your Instagram from these interviews that you can access and certainly gain a lot from. So thank you to you guys for what you
Thank
do and for
you.
hosting and putting time in.
Thank you for your wonderful words. And yeah, just the best. And I'm looking forward to your next project and our next images. Definitely. And you always got our support. So we keep in touch, my wonderful Sam. And bye to Australia.
Thanks so
Bye
much.
to everyone. Thank you
Bye.
for watching.
Bye.
Bye.